What's up? Sorry, I'm in the middle of something that took longer than I wanted. Anybody want to jump in? Jump on in. I think I already posted it, but whatever. What's up, Bob and Vince and every bunch of machines win and Viking and more Vince. Here we go. Share the screen. You can see what the hell I'm doing because I got to finish this. Otherwise, I'll never finish it. And right around here, I can take those three and throw them down here. And then I can take those three and I can get rid of that. And then I can take those three and I can throw them right there. And then I can upload it on the Colts. Photos must be added now. I don't know if that's a good idea, but sure. Why not? And I'll use more photos when I find them, but for now, this will get it up there so people can download it. Price, free. I don't really care. Somebody can steal it for all I give a crap. I made this like 1,000,000 years ago. And there it is. And so I can link it now. Wish they had like a direct link, like kind of like YouTube does. That would be nice. And could stream in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, probably. Who knows? Yeah, no, I have a feeling, reading through their things, I have a feeling they did that because I kept going to the Duet Wi-Fi setup page. And I think they have something like, it flagged as a, spammer site or whatever. Why can't I hear him?
Anyway.
There it is. So, why is your camera so crappy?
Probably because my lighting is off.
You're way out of focus.
It was just in there, just a second.
Did you see the title image for the stream today?
Yes and no. Streaming on the Monday.
Yeah, but did you see the actual image?
Oh no, I just clicked quickly.
Don't feed the Angry Warkockies.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why that just sounded funny. Don't feed the Angry Warkockies.
There you go. Oh, had it, lost it.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna, because that's actually my Prusa chain link little cage. I've got a little monster Prusa that I normally put in it. He's got his arm going through. If you look at that image, there's a hole in the chain link, and I got Prusa sticking his arm through it. So I'm going to put that back. I'm actually printing some more chain link. I already have a shelf. I'm going to put another one on the other side. Matter of fact, they just finished. My little chain link printers, which are a real bitch to get off of here, because once again, they're really thin and don't flex off the flex plate. Here, you want some chain link fence?
The third revision came out good. The beard actually
I didn't have any problems printing it.
No, I mean the beard actually touched on the first layer, so I didn't have to lower it or anything.
Oh, I think I lowered mine into the bed just a hair.
I didn't have to.
1/4 of a millimeter or something, literally, is all I did. Just enough to make sure it would catch.
You had about 2 meters of the screen filament, load it up, size it up just enough. It's like 1.8. Just enough filament.
Normally, I don't like doing this, but with the chain link, you kind of have to, or else it sticks too well and falls apart because it's really, really thin. It's literally only 2 layers thick. I mean, it's popping right up. I'm just making sure it stays straight. Chain link fence. I can't believe the shit we do for 3D printing just for the hell of it. You know what I mean? It's like, where the hell did that even pop into my mind last night to do a Marvin Warkocki? I don't even remember what we were talking about, and all of a sudden I was like, Marvin Warkocki. We need a Marvin Angry Warkocki.
Yeah, I don't remember how we got onto that, but it clicked very quickly and
sprang into my head. And then 20 minutes later, we had Angry Marvin Warkocki.
Sometimes those are the best ideas, the ones that just spur of the moment.
All right, so where'd my other thing? Here's the other chain link. Sides, glue them together. A couple of drops of I hope that's not too long. Is that longer than my damn shelf I made? What do I do with the shelf? I hate it when I can't find crap that I know is right here in front of me. I mean, it's right here somewhere. So I was just dicking with it this morning. I don't know. It's just a black shelf. Let's see, one side of these. Yeah, both sides of these I printed flat. So it'll all glue together. Put a drop of nano gloop on there. And glue them all together. Gloop, 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 gloop. Gloop, gloop, gloop. Gloop, 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 gloop. Gloop like soaks right into this stuff like instantly. Not even getting enough time to work it. Let's see. This one goes this way. And glooping the chain link fence together. What is up, Mr. Buttram? I'm glooping, Mr. Buttram. I'm glooping. I'm glooping a chain link fence together. We need Brian Vines. He could come up with some dad joke about it. I know he could.
What, about glooping?
Yeah, about glooping a chain link fence together. I know he'd come up with something.
It's like people that work out. Do you even gloop, bro?
Gloop, man. Are you a gloopy? It's so humid, the crap ain't drying. I think my chain link fence looks really, really good. It really looks like a chain link fence. Augustus glooping. There you go. I knew you'd come up with something. Why am I thinking my chain link fence is too long for the fence for the shelf I made? Oh well. I'll just make a it's falling over.
Use the bottle as a prop.
Yeah, but I want to glue the other side. And I think if I remember correctly, my phone is exactly the right size to hold it up. There. Put a couple more drops of gloop in there to make sure it gloops together. And gloop the other side. I think I still like tube glue better, more controllable. Looping chain link fence. Now, if I stand it up, it'll stand itself up and hold. Now, there's a thought. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place.
Because you got to do it the llama way.
I had to llama it first, yep. There you go, the little frickin' Warkocki cage. Don't feed the angry Warkockis. Don't feed the angry Warkockis. That can have like two meanings, you know. That could have a real meaning, like, you know, don't feed Warkocki on the Twitter and Facebook. Don't feed the angry Warkocki. I don't know why that's just so funny to me, but it's freaking hilarious. Okay, let's put the angry Warkocki cage over here somewhere. Let it dry. And then, I don't know, I was going to work on the Duet, but I was screwing with it since 5 o'clock this morning, and I still can't get it to work right. And the problem with the Duet forums is all those guys are like in England, so by the time I go and post, they're like home from work already, and, you know, I have to wait 24 hours to get an answer. They answer me at like 2 o'clock in the morning, my time. Need some 1, 2, 3 blocks. What are 1, 2, 3 blocks? I don't know what a 1, 2, 3 block is. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you mean like regular wooden 1, 2, 3 blocks, like we used to have when we were kids, like ABC blocks? Is that what you're talking about, Buttram? Like little wooden ones. Anyway, they're metal bricks. Did you try hitting up anyone with a rail car? I've asked everyone, and nobody else seems to be having a problem with the heater, and I don't get it because it makes no sense. I mean, there's just nothing there, and it instantly does it. It doesn't even start really heating. It may go up a degree or two, and then it kicks right off.
Is there maybe a setting? Maybe you need to put more of a delay so that it kicks up fast?
I'm sure there is. It's something stupid I'm either missing or wasn't there, or, you know, I don't know. I never had a problem with this thing heating, though, before. I mean, it wasn't the fastest one in the world, but I get up to 70, 80 degrees in, 3 to 5 minutes, which is decent. That thing, the frickin' ANET, takes like 25 minutes just to get to 40. Imagine that thing with a Duet on it. It would never stop. It would never heat it up. I have to preheat it and then go down and make my coffee, and by the time I come back up, the bed might be warm enough. I will say that thing, once it gets up to temperature, it holds. It just doesn't get up to temperature. God, it is so hot and humid. I hate heat and humidity. It's not even that hot. It's only 60. Well, it's 80 degrees in here with 72% humidity. No, I don't like it. I want to go outside and play in the yard, and I'm just not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not too bad here. 70 degrees outside, but we have the AC on, so it's comfortable in here. Although it did rain yesterday.
Blocks you use for clamping stuff, basically, Breton. Just big metal blocks that, like, when I was holding that up, you clamp with them, right? Never heard of them before. But that would make sense. Sounds like a good idea. We could 3D print those, and you just put like a freaking lead ball in the middle. Man, your video is really crappy today there, Vince.
Doesn't look crappy on my side.
It's all pixelated and crap. How's it looking on YouTube?
That's why I'm switching over. Yeah, it looks.
All the pictures are upside down. Frickin' figures. I don't care. Excuse me.
I would say on my screen it looks fine, but yeah, on YouTube side it does look blurry. Yeah. See if that'll help clear up a little.
Notifications.
Hopefully it'll catch up.
YouTube. Everything's lagging on my end too, to be honest with you.
I'm froze.
Are you?
Yeah. On the YouTube I'm froze.
Yeah, you're froze here too. Yep. On YouTube it's just your logo now.
Well, I switched it to see if
it have your picture, but your picture's frozen.
Well, I switched the video off to see if it would help.
Yeah, it's not doing it on the StreamYard's end.
It came back.
Come back in. I wonder if it's just StreamYard's, because it seems like it may actually be the StreamYard's.
Well, it was connected to a VPN, and I disconnected. So let me back out and click back in.
Mm. Oh, look, my arm's bleeding. I wonder what got me today. Much better. Cleaner, clearer video, everything.
It might have been because I had a VPN up.
What's up, Viking?
Minimize that. Yeah, that's definitely a lot better.
Marcus. Oh, 2D Maker kid there wanted to. He wanted something. Let's look at my messages. Still there? Nope. Select all. Delete. That's not what I wanted.
Yeah, I turned off the VPN and logged out, logged back in, and yeah, the video is definitely improved.
Beating on Glenn. I need an adult. Why would you need an adult, Mr. Buttram? You don't need any adults. What the hell do you? Adults are boring. Oh, I just noticed on the freaking all the photos are upside down. Ah, crap. Check it out. Look, the photo's upside down. Is it gonna write? Nope, it doesn't even write up when you blow it up. Oh, well, I'll flip them and re-upload them later. Not a big deal. Not a big deal.
All right.
Yeah, no, that's a cool idea. stupidly simple idea, the freaking 1, 2, 3 box. It's just brilliantly simple. Designing and testing an NES cartridge folder for a friend. People are still doing NES cartridges? Seriously? I mean, seriously? 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 I'm in like drone mode now. It's getting all hot, and I don't want to do a damn thing because I don't do well in heat and humidity. I'm a cold weather person.
That's not, like I said, it's not too bad out here. We had rain, so until the sun comes out and warms things up, it's not too bad.
We're on day 3. We're heat waver today. It's Tanner. What's up, Tanner, man? Tanner, man. Look, he's got a camera now.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys all suck. Where's my damn T-shirt? I want to never let the machines win T-shirt. Damn it. Yeah, I know it's risky. I was just being whatever.
Yeah, I got.
Wow, is that what you do on stage all night there, Tanner? No, I get it. I get why you make money now. I can see you up there doing that and then singing some of that what the hell is that crap, the Taiwanese bop or whatever, Jap bop or whatever they call it now. The foreign, Asian music that you can't understand a word of it, but it's all dancey kind of. It all sounds exactly the same.
Talking about K-pop?
K-pop. There you go. I could see Tanner up there doing that little fisty dance move and singing some K-pop for us. Come on, sing some K-pop, singer man.
That's what you do with Luke Bryan songs.
Yeah, turning out a little.
You just try not to fall off the stage during the show like he does so many times.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
He has fell off stage so many times, it's crazy.
I'm surprised I haven't started patting it in front of it for him. What's up, Robert? Oh, I got to figure out why the heater's not working on this thing. I mean, it's working. It just won't let it stay working. It just won't let it stay working.
So that this is just time out after it starts to heat. Only gets like a certain time into it and then stops, or what?
Yeah, it just starts heating up and then just goes. Took too long to raise. Blah blah blah. Slow heating, thermal runaway fault. In other words, it's assuming like the thermistor is not in place or the heater is just dangling or. Because it raises.
Have you checked that to make sure?
It wants to raise 10. They basically reassigned all the heaters. There used to be a bed heater slot that acted as a bed heater, and then they had a hot end heater slot and a second hot end heater slot. So, because they were made for dual extrusions originally. And the RipRap Firmware 3 takes everything and assigns nothing anymore. You literally have to assign every single pin on the board. Now, it's kind of ridiculous. But
can you find a sketch that somebody else has already made and then just bring it?
Well, you use the auto configure. You go on to Duet auto configure and you just type in your stuff,
Right, but if someone else has already got theirs working, could you try their config?
Yeah, but it does it all for you. It automatically sets everything for you. You don't have to, just the firmware now used to be like 2 paragraphs, and now it's 6 paragraphs because you got to freaking, for every little thing, it used to be bed heater, do this. And this is my thermistor. Now you have to go, you can't just do bed heater. You have to go slot blah is my bed heater. And slot blah is got this thermistor, and slot blah has got the heater, where it used to just be bed heater blah, and it knew a thermistor was on this pin, and it knew the heater was on that pin, and that was that. Now you have to assign. In other words, I can actually take the heater output and assign it to the bed thermistor or the other way around if I wanted to.
Is this the Duet you're talking about?
Yeah.
A lot of that was probably necessitated by things like the tool changer.
Yeah, well, it's more complicated for someone like me. For someone using the tool changers and the rail cores and stuff like that, it's going to make it easier for them.
Right.
Anyone wanting to customize the board, it's going to be way easier.
Yeah, I just assume that the changes to the firmware that allow that level of customization is probably just literally was brought on by things like the tool changer using the Duet.
Definitely. Well, I mean, it was originally written for the Duet 3. And then they're like, we'll port it to the Duet 2s because everyone's still using those for the tool changers and and it makes using the breakout boards and all that supposedly easier because now you can move the pins around. So if you have a breakout board with 6 driver motors, you don't need the driver motors on this board anymore. Supposedly the breakout board's faster communicating or some crap. I don't know. So you want to, instead of using your XYZ on here, you use the XYZ on the breakout board because it's faster or something. I don't know. Something along those kind of lines.
And while the tool changer is probably the coolest thing out there that you can buy and assemble and all
definitely.
that without totally custom assembling something, but it's far beyond anything that I would ever want to undertake, at least at this point.
RipRap is direct editable firmware. I can just sign on to it and edit my firmware. I don't have to recompile every time.
Where'd Tom go?
He's recompiling, I think.
We're recompiling Tom.
There's like the little I don't want to say business card, but the little thin slot we can do like the deer or they were like Holiday originally, but they're like little card size and you can just break everything off.
I freaking used the window I was watching with the freaking I went to share the screen and then I took the window away.
We were joking about that you were recompiling.
Yeah.
As soon as you said about recompiling and all of a sudden you're off.
Poof.
Anyway, so here's the point is you can use the system. You go to your machine and you go to your, you load it up like you normally would with Octoprint or anything, but right here in your systems file, you can configure your whole firmware right here. You just click on it, edit whatever you want. Change any of your code in your firmware, hit save, and boom, it's done. Your firmware has changed.
Well, then there's probably some kind of a timer setting for how long it's.
There isn't, though. I was looking, and I mean, literally, this is your whole firmware for the thing. This is it. This is your main, firmware. That's it, and that's actually more than it used to be. It used to be about half that much, because it's basically, here's your drivers, here's your network, here's your end stops. You got 3 end stops. You got a Z probe. Nope, I don't have a Z probe. Here's your 2 heaters, and like I said, this used to be 2 lines, not 6. Here's your 2 fans. This used to be 2 lines. Here's your tool head, and that's it. You tell it to Core XY. Other than that, it don't care. Set your speeds. You can set all your wherever it is. And stop Z probes. Where the hell is it? Drive. Your direction of your motors. Your micro stepping is all 16. Drive mapping. This right here is my Core XY settings. This is your motor currents, and that's it. Your accelerations, your jerks, everything's right here, and you just change it, hit save, and it's done. Set your thermistors, my heaters, but there's nothing here. I mean, here's all the heater information. map heating bed 2, heater 0. Boom, done. Set temperature limit 120.
Okay, so under heater, so
Here's the heater. I mean, that's my bed right there. Those 4 lines. That's everything.
there's going to be something that tells it. I mean, somewhere in the code, if it
It's got to
times
be
out,
something right here. This 307.
I'll be right back.
all right.
I have it disabled bang bang, and I have it set to PWM. I don't know. Something ain't making sense. And I'm sure it's something I did or didn't do, or as usual.
Well, like I said,
Yep, I clicked
somewhere,
yes.
somewhere, you would think there's like in the Marlin firmware where you can set the time limit.
Well, that's
before
just
time
it.
out.
You used to be able to.
Well, I mean, it's got to be somewhere in there. I mean, you may have a config that sets the parameters, but there's got to be something somewhere.
Yeah, I
that
don't know
tells
where. Because there's other controls, but these are just scripts to run. They're not actually controls. They're, if you home a delta, home all, they're just scripts. You click on it and it runs it. Deploy probe. That's the newest firmware update. And those are just the bin files that sit there. So if you have a problem, you can reload it instantly. All the actual G code is ends in G. Anything ending in G, the machine reads every time it starts up. It just reads that G code file, and that's what it sets for firmware. Oops. Generated by call for tool 0 to be selected. I mean, it's all stupid. Stop, sleep, track probe, resume. These are the bin files, so there's nothing there. Home, stop, sleep. I don't know what T-Frog is. Calls for tool 0 to be freed. That's it. That's all for the movements for, I don't know. I mean, none of it makes sense to me. These are just home files. I really wish it would let you, if you delete the home delta, it won't start up. I don't know why it's got to read the home delta. Everything's right here. Bed G. Call to perform automatic bed compensation via G32. Clear any bed, probe the bed, and enable compensation. Oh, that's for leveling. It's not even for heating or anything. And now they have a direct link. This is what I was doing yesterday. This is a direct link to their edit. So it loads all your settings and brings you to their auto website. And you can redo all your base settings without having to figure them out. And then you just upload the file. I don't know. Don't know, man. Something, like I said, something stupid I got to add, or a line I got to put in or take out, or something. Something's.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure if everyone else has got theirs working, there's going to be something.
Yeah,
simple.
I read a couple of groups of people saying they had the same problem, but it was with 3.0. And they said the minute they went up to 3.1.1, it went away. Well, it didn't go away for me. And I can't direct. I have to load 3.0 to go to 3.1.1 with the older Duet board. This Duet 2, a Duet 3 won't load anything but firmware 3. It won't even let you reload firmware 2. I just don't know, man. You got to go singing and dancing this afternoon there, Tanner, man?
Yeah, I got a 6 to 10 show tonight.
Cool.
And then I'm
Back
off
to work, it
Tuesday,
seems,
Wednesday.
huh?
Yeah, most of it's back. I think my Saturday and Sunday are coming back starting July 1st. I think
Yeah.
AJ's is going to be open.
Anybody
Back
there?
to
Are you actually making a buck or two? I mean, I'm sure you're not making as
Not
much.
yet. But you go and play the shows so that you reserve your spot, basically.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I mean, you got
Um,
to at least be breaking even, aren't you?
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's just
So, if nothing else, it's practice time.
a show that used to a shift that used to make me $200 or $300 will now make me $80.
Still $80. Although you probably
Right.
spend $80 in gas driving back and forth.
No, parking's 10 and then about $10 in gas.
Yeah, so you still do. I mean, you're not.
Yeah, it cost me about,
you're not getting wealthy on it for sure.
no, it cost me about $20 to go to work.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, you used to be a show that you'd make $200-$300 on. Now you make $80-$90.
Yeah, but you got to expect that at first. Well, at least you're making something. It's not a complete waste of time.
Right, and like I said, you when the club calls and says, your shift's open back up, are you ready to go? You say yes, because you don't want to. If you say no, they'll give your spot to somebody else, and then when things do get back to real normal, you'll still be sitting at home.
Yep. Oh no, but like I said, at least you're making something. It's worth the drive out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's better than just sitting at home, anyways.
Just it's a little disappointing because this is the time of year where you make $1,500 to $2,000 a week, and normally, and
well,
now it's like $250 a week.
Yep.
But is what it is.
$250 is still better than zero.
Right. Yes. And a lot of that is there's not many people downtown because
Yeah. No.
reasons. And then
multiple reasons.
And we can't pass the tip jar. Although today starts phase 3, so I'm gonna have to text the guy that does the booking and say what does the changes in phase 3 mean for me? Can we go back to a 5-piece band on stage yet? Or are we still a 4-piece? What does that mean?
Yeah, because we're fully open now in Connecticut. Everything's open.
Because phase 2
last Wednesday.
And I saw people breaking the rules and doing it anyway. I saw people passing the tip jar. I saw people with 5 people on stage, and those were against the rules. And I wasn't going to do that. And I explained to my band, because some of my band guys were like, well, they had 5 and they were running the tip jar. And I said, yes, but that's against the phase 2 rules. I said, do you want to be the band that's on stage when a city official pokes his head in and sees that? And then when they call the club because what they've been doing here when they catch a club breaking the rules, they've been yanking the club's beer license for 5 days.
Yeah.
I said, do you want to be?
The other thing is people they get all like, oh, the government's trying to control us, blah, blah, blah. You realize that the government isn't doing it. It's the doctors and the medical staff that are saying, this is what we recommend.
Right. Exactly.
This is they aren't making these rules up in their heads. They're getting medical advice.
They're saying even this isn't safe, but if you have to be open, here's the way that we recommend you do it.
Yeah, at least keep because we're at the point. I mean, our governor is pretty much at the point of everybody is likely to get the virus. Let's just keep the infestation slow to not overwhelm the hospitals.
Right.
That's the whole point. Everyone's like, oh, it's not going to stop us from getting the virus. Where it's not supposed to stop you from getting the virus. It's
And
supposed to stop everybody from getting it all at once.
Right. Until there's a vaccine to stop it, at some point in time, every one of us is going to get this.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of can you hold off to get it at a time when the medical system isn't overwhelmed and maybe they know a little more about treating it.
Exactly. It's just to slow down the infestation.
Yeah. So I told the band when they were like, well, they had 5 and they were running the tip jar. I said, do you really want to be the band that was on stage at that unlucky time when a city official pokes his head in, and then he calls the club and tells them that what he saw and that, we're going to have to report this and all that. And the club, facing 5 days of not being able to sell beer, goes, we told them the rules. Told them the rules. And so we'll fire them so that you won't have to worry about that happening again. I was like,
well, what you can almost do though, can't you have like, I don't know, some kid walk around with a tip jar and just fold it out and people can drop money in it? No. Why not?
Nope. The tip jar has to stay on the corner of the stage. It cannot move.
I'll just keep pointing to it.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm at is I printed out a little sign that has my Venmo and PayPal for people who want to do contactless tipping. And then we've got the bucket sitting on the corner of the stage, and I time it. I watch the clock about once every 45 minutes to an hour. I'll remind the crowd that's how we make our living. We make our living off of your generosity. It's never required, but it's always appreciated. If you don't mind, throw a little something in our tip.
Exactly, man. I don't want to be the beta tester for the medical systems. Me neither. I'd rather they beta test it on someone else, so when I get sick, they know what the hell to do.
Well, I hear Las Vegas wanted to be a beta tester. They're mayor.
So yeah, it is what it is. It's our current normal, and that's what we have to do. And it's
really not as big of a deal. We're just so used to living life the way we do that it's inconvenient because we're just not used to it.
And so many people want to jump up on their
kind of thing, anyways.
Right. So many people want to jump up on their soapbox and yell about that this is oppression, and I'm like, no, this is just trying to keep us from all dying. That's what this is trying to do.
Because death rate, it's high. There's a lot of people dying, but
right. But like
death rate is not that much worse than a regular flu. It is worse, and it's
this past weekend, my father-in-law came to stay with us because he's medically in bad shape, and he was in an assisted living place for a while, and the insurance was like, no, we're not paying for that anymore, so he come to stay with us, so we're taking care of him now. And if I were to get it and bring it home, my wife is a severe asthmatic, my 80-year-old father-in-law is in poor health. They're if they get this, they're probably dead.
Yeah. Wouldn't go that far. It's a little. There is, and I'll agree with some. There's a little scare tactic going on, but it's not as much tactic as people want to make it out to be.
Well, they are finding, as time goes on, different types of treatments that are helping, such as putting them on their chest, or using the steroids or anti-inflammatories and stuff to try to reduce the inflammation response that the body has. So they are finding ways to.
So if you can stave off getting it as long as possible,
here's a question.
They'll know how to handle it better.
And that's what it's all about, is, buy some time.
Yeah. I'm going to pull a presidential piece of advice. Why can't we just stick a Hoover vacuum down there and suck it all out?
Right
after you jam a UV light up your butt and
inject yourself with bleach, we'll inject ourselves with some pine straw. And
I was going to say, take some hits off of the Clorox vape.
Yeah, and then smoke some Clorox. That should cure it. Oh, and go sit out in the sun.
Lysol.
By the way, anybody watching, don't do any of those things.
Yeah. No. All right, enough of this political freaking coronavirus BS. Let's get back on to 3D printing and something more happy.
Or well, I'm designing, not printing right now.
The hell are you drinking?
It's some cheap knockoff soda that's not bad, actually. Wait, this camera.
Oh, it's like a Mountain Dew knockoff.
This is actually it tastes more like Surge.
It's like the discount version of like a Mountain Dew. But it's not the same. But
no, it tastes more like Surge.
Yeah, because we've got the Big K brand out here as well.
Yeah, you guys remember Surge, right, in the 90s? Surge was the bomb.
What's Butcher saying?
Surge fueled
back to the worst WebMD device ever. Yes, it was the worst.
Surge fueled so many of our tabletop gaming nights back in the day, back in the 90s.
Well, anyway,
we would meet at different people's houses, and we usually play. BattleTech was our game of choice. And
I'm thinking of just pollute your body. Do drugs and alcohol and pollute your body so bad no germ wants to live there. It's worked so far for me. I don't know. My brothers are coming down from Boston today. They're all like, "Oh, should we come down and blah 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 blah?" I'm at the point of I don't think we're far from. I mean, it's obvious we were already into surge 2 of the virus. They're saying there's more people in the hospital in the country than there has been since the beginning in the last week. But we're at the point of now let's again not overwhelm the hospitals, but let's all just get it and get it over with. Move on. Uh-oh. Hey, you weren't supposed to be working on that while we were
That's not the sub.
Kind of looks like it.
It's a VTOL.
Whatever that is.
Vertical takeoff and landing.
Oh.
A little cargo pod that I'm going to design to slide in and out, and then there will be different cargo pods, and I even plan to have like that way I can make like a rescue type version and put like a gurney kind of thing back there and stuff.
So it's a helicopter
without blades. Instead, it's got these.
Anyway, it's funny.
Which will rotate.
I posted our little thing we did, me and you, on the 3D printing group there in Facebook. And of course, you always get the idiot that responds. One of them was, he was being an idiot, but he was kind of. Anyways, he goes on and, this is pointless. If you're going to do mechanical, use, fusion. If you're going to be organic, use Blender. And I'm kind of thinking about it and went, it's kind of the opposite because yours is much more square and blocky and mechanical looking. And mine was way more organic looking.
Well, and the thing with Blender is Blender's kind of a jack of all trades. You can do whatever you want with Blender.
Yeah.
Anybody who tries to pigeonhole Blender into it's just this is wrong.
Well,
I mean,
it's still way easier to do mechanically accurate in an actual CAD program than it is a.
Right, but you can do that in Blender if that's what you want out of Blender. You just download those particular add-ons.
That was perfectly distracting at the perfect time. It's like Swing Fighter flies in front of my face.
You just download those add-ons if that's what you want to do with Blender.
Yeah, I know, but it's definitely not. Fusion is really simple to do, superly, mechanically accurate. I mean, it's easy in Fusion.
And if you want to use Blender, you can use Blender for video editing. And
that's what it originally was, dude.
Right. You can use Blender as a
application.
You can use Blender as a sound editor. You can use Blender as a animation studio, both for 2D or 3D animation.
That's what Blender started out as. Blender, like 0.9 or 0.8 original release was a video animation editing all in one package. You could model and then animate and then create the actual video all in one shot. You didn't have to get a modeler and then, get a pre-video and an animator and then, get something like Adobe Premiere or
like I can't think of the name of it right now. There's a movie on Netflix, an animated movie on Netflix that was made entirely in Blender.
Yeah, the original when they released it, the bunny one. The original bunny movie was what they made. That was what made Blender and made it popular back in that was like 2000.
No, this was recent.
There's a bunch of them. They had a contest where everyone did shorts in Blender. Some of them are really good. That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, Next Gen.
Oh,
I've seen that one.
Next Gen was made in Blender. They made the characters, the environments, they animated the characters, they did the video editing, all that stuff in Blender.
Yeah, no, that's the original. Like I said, the original Bunny movie was 100% Blender, and it's really good. It's actually a cute little, what is it, 4 or 5 minutes? Cute little short. There's a bunch of freaking them now. Like I said, a year or two ago, they had a contest of some sort. I don't know what the hell they did, but they had like 200 or 300 shorts, like little 3 to 5 minute short movies.
You can use a Blender to make strings.
Really, really good.
Mike, you can use a Blender to make strings.
You can use a Blender to make strings.
But I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing that I love about Blender is the fact that you can get out of it whatever you want to get out of it.
Yeah.
You just design your workflow to get where you want to go.
It's still one of the most confusing apps I've ever used, and one of ZBrush is more the ZBrush is worse.
And as far as doing what I do in it, it's no more difficult or complicated than 3D Studio Max was.
Yeah, I never got into 3D. I had it for a while.
And that was what I was trained in school was 3D Studio Max.
I started using Maya and all that crap, which was not easy either, but that was way back in the beginning. They've gotten way easier to use.
A couple of years ago when I first jumped into Blender, because when I started doing all this, I guess about 2.5 years ago, that was my first jump into Blender. I had never touched Blender before then.
That's all right, Mr. Butcher. I might have you to straighten me out.
So yeah, I had never used Blender before I started making stuff for 3D printing. It was the first time I used it, and I just looked at it. I came at it from a point of view of somebody who came from the 3D Studio Max world, and I had used 3D Studio Max going through school when I got my bachelor's in digital entertainment and game design. And so it was, it was a natural transition for me. And Blender's free and open source and doesn't cost the kind of crazy money that 3D Studio Max does. But now they've gone to that whole pay monthly thing for 3D Studio Max.
You have Fusion, right?
I have an account. I signed into it once. I followed through that tutorial on YouTube where you make an electric conduit box.
I'd love to see your model rendered in Fusion, because Fusion's stock, default renderer is really, really good.
Right. Well, and the thing with Blender, I mean, you choose renderers based upon how much time you want it to render.
Oh, I know, but you saw my render of that thing. That took like 10 minutes, and it was gorgeous. I was like, holy crap, that thing looked awesome.
Like if you choose in Blender, if you choose Eevee as your renderer, which is what I use all the time, you get decent looking results, but you get renders that are like that.
Yeah, and it makes it look like Tonka toys.
Yeah, it's not a beautiful
You don't
rendering.
get all the
It's not
nice
meant to be.
shadows and all that crap like I had.
Now, if you use Cycles is a production
Yeah,
renderer,
but that takes like 10 hours to render one image.
but it'll take you 5 minutes to render one still frame.
Yeah. Well, that one I did took like 10 minutes, I think, to render out.
And it'll take you 5 minutes to render one still frame. That's if you switch over to GPU rendering, because GPU rendering renders faster.
Yeah, if you have a good GPU.
Right. In Blender, you choose whether you want the CPU or the GPU to do the rendering.
I haven't heard from my brother. I wonder if he's still coming down or not. It's already 10 o'clock.
And then you can sign up for a cloud rendering service with Blender, which is a monthly charge.
Yeah.
But then when you render, you're actually rendering through a cloud-based rendering farm. And so you can get those high detail renders, where one still would take an hour to render a full like production scene and cut it down to 10 minutes.
Yeah. I just find Fusion so much easier because, I took drafting like all through junior high school and high school, and Fusion is like paper and pencil drafting. It's easier than AutoCAD was, as far as I'm concerned. A lot.
I never did any kind of drafting whatsoever, but I did,
I did a lot of it.
I did go through, art was what I did. So this for me is it's art,
And I grew up. All the 3D apps were just starting as I was growing up, so I was snagging them up left and right. Working for companies. I had a mortgage company buy me freaking Maya at it was like $3,000 just so I could make a little summary and go across for an ad for them.
When I graduated high school, I had a scholarship offer to the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and their mistake was they sent me a round trip plane ticket to come up there and meet with them. Yep. So they take me on a tour of the school. They took me over to the art museum and gave me a tour of that, which was cool, and saw some amazing things there. They had an Edward Hopper exhibit while I was there, and Edward Hopper is my favorite painter of all time.
See, Bob.
And
light speed, red light.
Got to see the American Gothic, the famous painting. Got to see it, up close, which was really cool. And then they get done with me at they're done with me at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't have to be back to the airport till 7. So they cut me loose into Chicago at 18 years old and never left home before. They cut me loose with 5 hours to kill in Chicago. That was their mistake, because in that 5 hours, Chicago scared the crap out of me as an 18-year-old kid. And I hopped back on that plane. I went home and I wasn't going back.
Yeah, no. Especially as a country boy.
Yeah, because all it took.
That was scary.
Yeah, I took a wrong turn down. See, back then we didn't have, apps on phones to map stuff for you and all that. So I have a paper map in my hand and I'm looking at it. And where I was trying to get to was just 1 block over.
Yeah, and you can't rightly get there from here.
But to get there, I was going to have to walk 6 blocks that way, 1 block over, and then 6 blocks back.
Yeah.
But I see this alley that on the map that cuts all the way through.
That ain't too bright.
Yeah. I had no, at 18, I had no idea.
Yeah.
The mistake I was about to make.
I'm in a country kind of area, backwoodsy kind of area, especially when I was younger. It's more populated now, but Boston and New York are both within 2 hours of here. So growing up, we were going there all the time. So I got used to cities kind of early.
Yeah,
I went to Boston dozens of times, growing up, same with New York City. And I
turned into this alley, man, and I tell you what, it was like a scene out of a movie for me.
Yeah.
I turned down this alley and I make it, I don't know, about a third of the way down the alley. And in the background, just like on cue, the L goes by in the background. And there's a bunch of, homeless people in the alley, whole bunch of them. And some of them are standing around garbage can fires and stuff like that. And when I walk into the alley, into their view site, they all like turn and look at me at the same time. And they all just start walking towards me.
Run away, run away.
And that's exactly what I did. I turned around, I turned tail, I ran back the way I came as fast as I could go. And back then I was pretty fast.
Yeah,
I made it to the street, man. I hopped in a taxi. I told the taxi to take me to the airport. That taxi nearly got me killed like 6 times on the way to the airport because he was running red lights and everything. He runs a red light, and a bus goes across the intersection. He goes behind the bus and in front of the car that's behind the bus, between them, through the intersection while the light's red.
There it is.
And we get on this highway headed towards the airport. He passes the exit. And he's like, I passed the exit. And I was like, oh, that's okay. Just, whenever, I'm no biggie. Just take the next one whenever, however you get there. He goes, no. He said, that was our exit. He said, hold on. This is very, very illegal. And so from like the third lane over, he cuts the wheel hard to the left. We cut across traffic, go across traffic going into the other way, all the way over to the far right lane going back the other way, and he goes back down the exit after he had passed it. I got to that airport, man. I was so glad to stop moving. I was like, I checked in. I got through security. I sat my butt in the seat, and I'm like, I don't have to catch my flight's not for 4 hours, but I'm gonna sit my butt right here for 4 hours.
Yeah, that was not the best place in the world.
I was done. I was done with Chicago, man. It wouldn't scare me now like it did then.
I don't know. It still scares me.
Working in Nashville every day is kind of gotten me more relaxed in city environments.
Freaking hate going to Boston. I hate going to New York. Hate them both.
I mean, I know Nashville's not quite as crazy as cities like that, but it's still a city.
What
You still got to keep your head on a swivel.
Your voice just got really, really deep.
Oh, well, my microphone is now got a red flashing light on it. That's weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Is it still sounding that way?
He's Barry Tanner. Yeah, there you go. It's Barry Tanner. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You're listening to Smooth Jazz.
Doing some
Yeah.
Tanner Diaz.
Let's see here. Let's go to the Cayman mic settings. Go to audio.
That was bizarre. It just snapped and started happening. Do I have any
Are we back to normal?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I did is I went into the Cayman mic settings. I switched microphones and then switched back to my main mic. Whatever it did, it didn't like it anymore.
Wouldn't having it no more. Toothbrushes. Where are my little screws I need to draw out in the garage? Oh well. I was hoping I had some little screws and I could hang my freaking Warkocki cage shelf up. I can't find my damn mini Warkocki, squished Warkocki either. I don't know where he went. He fell off the table the other night, and he's gone. Disappeared into the great void of who knows where. And the room's actually clean. I cleaned it the other day, which is why I can't find anything.
Yeah, the thing I've learned about navigating in cities now is never go anywhere that the sidewalks aren't crowded. Stay with the crowd.
Yeah.
Stay with the people.
I hate crowds.
I know, but stay with the people because it's when you veer far away from the people that the dangerous stuff usually happens.
That's where the scary people live.
The scary people are where the majority aren't. Like there was a guy posted the other day on one of the Facebook groups I'm on that somebody attempted to mug him on his way back to his car. And then he starts explaining the story because someone pulled a knife on him, and he was one of those concealed carry people, so he pulled his gun back on the guy that pulled the knife, and the guy ran away. But then he starts telling the story, and he had parked down at like 8th and Church, and I'm like, well, that was your problem, because the general public congregation of people stop at like 5th and Church. So you parked 3 blocks beyond where there would be witnesses.
Yeah. That's why I don't like cities.
I was like, stay where there are witnesses.
Your item is out for delivery.
Yeah, I got 2 things coming in today. One being a wow stick.
You and your frickin' wow sticks.
Oh.
Surprised you guys didn't get banned for talking about the wow sticks. Everyone was playing with their wow sticks.
So what happened to your stream the other day, man, or yesterday, whenever it was?
No clue.
They didn't explain themselves?
Not yet. They sent me a little letter last night. I got like, I don't know, 10 or 11. We were streaming when I got it. It basically says, as you may know, we cut your stream and you didn't follow the guidelines. We're sorry. A lot of our stream, analyzation is all computerized now because of the COVID. We're not.
And so I would question them exactly which guidelines was I not following.
It says nothing. It just says follow the guideline. I put an appeal in on it. I mean, I really don't care. They outright say though it's very, like they don't give a number, but it basically says about half of the stuff that gets banned gets reapplied once a human being looks at it. And
well, today is day 9 since I contacted Twitter about my stolen account. Let's see.
day 9.
Still nothing from Twitter about my stolen account.
I'd be tweeting on Twitter about their Twitterness.
I have been.
I mean, you do that.
Tag the CEO in it.
Yeah, tag Twitter CEO or whatever.
Day 9.
You'd think though, even when they do that they should have to frickin' like explain what guideline I broke. Especially where I've seen it where they've cut them, at the end, and you go to upload and save it because it doesn't save until the next day, kind of thing. And it says, "Oh, we won't save this. It broke this guideline or that guideline, or we heard music in the background, or music company did whatever for whatever reason." But they usually don't cut it right in the middle of a live stream like that,
right?
I mean,
that's usually somebody was paying attention and caught something during. Because you'd think if they were going to cut streams during that Sholm wouldn't have gotten half of his streams.
Exactly. I mean, you've been constantly on them. You'd think he'd last 5 minutes. They'd be like, no.
Yep.
No.
He's trying it again.
He's gonna hunt him down and shoot him or something. Freedom!
Those intoxicated streams sitting on the back porch sanding on stuff while he was playing other people's YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Or watching videos. Yeah.
Videos. I mean,
music videos.
I don't care. I've hung out with Sean. I like Sean. He's all right.
Yeah. But that was all against YouTube's community guidelines.
But yeah, he's way beyond those guidelines. I mean, every single one of them he has broken at one point in time. Hell, I have too. I mean, I don't know if you were at the Christmas or the New Year's stream me and him did a couple years ago.
The one that's banned in multiple countries.
Which
one? The one that's banned in multiple countries.
Oh, you didn't hear about that, Tanner?
I didn't catch what you're talking about.
2 years ago, me and Shom and Matt did a stream for New Year's, where we sat and got really, really drunk and played music and swore.
Oh
And
no.
it was like over the top bad. I mean, I was as bad as Showham, if not worse.
See, I'm always busy on New Year's because I'm always making money
So
with it.
we did the stream and it was popular because the Mind of Matt was on there, and there was a whole bunch of us on there, and it was popping in and out. And I got up in the morning, dude, and my email was just full from YouTube going strike, 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 strike. I mean, I started reading them. Some of them were funny. It's like I was banned in like 900 countries or some crap. I mean, it was just so funny. I'm reading some of
You're an
these.
international menace, Tom.
There was literally like 100 or 50 or 100 strikes on it. I was laughing so hard. I mean, it was just, I got so many bans from that. It was unreal. We were loud and obnoxious and swearing and playing music and oh God.
Drinking more.
We were having fun. It was probably my most popular live stream ever. Actual watchers. I think we had like 100 people watching it.
Well, because people like to watch a train wreck.
It was New Year's. I mean, it really didn't start out bad. We were having fun at first, but then, I had a half a bottle of rum in me. Frickin' Showham had probably 2 in them, and Matt from Mind of Matt, he had a couple of beers in him at that point. He was dancing around in I think he had snowman pajama bottoms on. He was out there dancing around him. Oh, we got twisted. It was not good. Needless to say, they wouldn't even let me download that. Usually when they ban it, they let you download the video still.
Yeah.
And, you can view it and say, that allows you to edit it if you want and re-upload. And they wouldn't even let me download it. It's just like, nope, cut off. Yeah.
There's only 5 minutes worth of editable video that you could use.
I don't even think there was. Yeah, maybe the first 5 minutes when we first got on.
Yeah, they're like, there's nothing left here to actually use.
Yeah, there's nothing. Hi, we're having a New Year's Eve stream. Cut. That's it. Done. That's all you get to watch. Yeah, no, it was a good time though. I wish I could have kept the video just because, like, watching Matt dancing in his pajama bottoms. He was wearing like, pretty sure they were snowman pajamas, and it was just funny as hell. Tanner needs to put a little icon on. That's a Tanner icon. Avatar. Yeah, no, there probably wouldn't have been much left. You can jump in here there, Treating Maker Kid, if you want. I think I sent you a link on Twitter. On the Twit. Not that you're really kid-friendly. Not that we're kid-friendly. Mark. As usual, we're starting. Oh, my brother hasn't even left Boston yet? Oh, crap. He just texted me. Oh, we're starting late. Dude, it's 10:30 already. It's 2.5 hour drive here. I was hoping he'd be here for lunch, take Mom out to lunch so I wouldn't have to deal with it. Oh, well.
I don't have a screen to test. I'm gonna bring it back. Now I got a Creality board with dual Z. The Z's were acting up. I was going to see if there's anything I could do to get them working. Otherwise, the board is good for
nothing.
No, I mean, I could set it up for like a laser where I just have to manually get the laser at whatever height. And all I need is the X and Y at that point. So,
yeah, not worth much.
But yeah, I mean, as far as needing for a laser, because I think some of these boards actually had a a port.
Well, the other thing is, you could always use the extruder motor. If you're just doing a laser.
Yeah, well,
You
yeah,
could re-pin the extruder or reset the extruder in the thing and
yeah, make it a Z.
make it a Z if you wanted. Reassign. Anyway, crap, my brother's not coming down and figuring 2 o'clock he's gonna hit here. Damn it.
Yeah.
I was hoping he'd like take my mother out. My mother has not been out of this house in 4 months. She has not left the house. I took her out like 3 days ago to church so she could stand at the door of the church for a half an hour. That's the only time she left the house. I was hoping he'd.
I've been used to working so much that just sitting at home.
Just put her in the car and take her somewhere. Even if they went and went to the pizza joint and got a grinder and went and sat at the beach, just to get her the hell out of the house. Because she's going nuts down there, and for all my picking on her, because she's whiny and bitchy worse than me, but I don't blame her for not wanting to sit down in that freaking basement for 4 months straight. I mean, I'd like that. I'd enjoy it, but we have a kid. He's a kid. What's up, dude?
Hey.
He's in a basement too. Look at him. He's all like, dude, that looks like a jail.
Yeah, it's an unfinished basement.
That looks like a jail cell, man. It's like the back wall of a jail cell.
I mean, everything's just.
Yeah, I know. It's the basement. It's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. I'm just working on a 3D printer design in Fusion right now.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, we got Tanner back.
Yeah, but I gotta go. I gotta run to Walgreens. My father-in-law needs some stuff.
All right.
So
We'll have to go soon. Not right yet, but
see you later, guys.
All right.
have fun.
See ya.
Are we gonna do it tomorrow? Gonna do some
Yeah, everything should be good because this camera has been.
Got to get a hand on Andrew again. Not that we need him, but it makes life easier having him do that.
Yeah, this $30 camera has been great
Yeah, no, it works.
for $30.
Yeah, it's still
I'd be
it's
upset if I
definitely a
paid
little
100.
pixelated. It's not as clear as even your old one was, but I mean,
I'd be upset if I paid $100 for it, but not 30. Yeah,
yeah, for
It's
what
great
we're
for
doing,
30.
who gives a crap?
right.
So what happened to the other one?
There's
It,
it needed more strain relief in the cable.
there you go.
Solder
Bye.
extra long USB cord.
So the cable, no, it was the cable because of the cable was really short, so I had it up on the monitor. It's the only place it could go, but it was kinked quite a bit.
Right.
during
What I'm saying is soldering iron and just any old USB cord. You could probably go in there and replace
Well,
it.
where the disconnect is at is where it plugs into where it's in the back of the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
think everyone can solder?
solder
I don't
directly
know what
to the
to
board.
solder.
Right, but it took me half an hour to solder a thermistor on the A8
Yeah, no.
because I'm really bad at soldering.
Don't
I'm
throw it
really
away.
good at soldering all the wires together into one big clump.
Yeah, I'm sure that worked.
Yeah, don't
Anyway.
throw it away. You can salvage.
My father-in-law needs razors and shaving cream and a shower seat. So
Shower seats, those are fun. Those things are ridiculously overpriced.
yep. So I'm heading to Walgreens to pick all that up.
Probably a good idea. See you, Tanner.
You hopefully didn't throw the camera away. I mean, that anybody can solder.
I mean,
Well, every time I have a bad mouse, or if I have a bad plug on on the micro USB where it connects into the phone, the little prongs that actually hold it in place, sometimes they just wear down, and I'll just cut the end off the cord. Now I've got a USB cord.
Because this button don't work no more. Or no, this one. And I bought a new one. I bought a refurbed one, and it lasted like a month. I don't know if you noticed, like the last couple of weeks, like, you know, when I type something, I'm a terrible typist anyways, but the space bar wasn't working. You have to like slam it to make it work. I'm going back to mechanical keyboard, I think. I think somewhere around there I have an big old Mac mechanical keyboard from like my Apple IIs. I think I'm getting one of those. Because those, even when you break a key, you can just go in there and fix it. These soft touch ones, you can't. When it goes, it goes. It's a little bubble wrap connector.
Yeah, the one that I have was $30 on Amazon, and it's okay.
Yeah. I just hate the clickety noise of them. It drives me nuts.
I need to get quieter switches in mine.
Yep. That's life. Let's see if those guys have responded on the Duet forum yet. An invitation to share your conditional G-code scripts. Nope, no one's responded yet. Bastards. I'm gonna have to go on and do it on Facebook. I hate doing it on Facebook.
Oh, great.
What is the 3D Maker kid making?
That's a MK10 extruder that I modeled up a while ago, and this is the other part that I'm working on right now.
Looks like some kind of molder holder thing. Molder.
It's it's a holder for a NEMA 17 and lead screw.
Oh.
And it already existed, but I had to modify it to use linear rods because I broke one of the rails that I got.
Oh. So you got a whole bunch of yellow squares down there because you got planes misaligned or not assigned, or
Yeah, there was a motor in there before.
Yeah.
It used to look like this, but I deleted it so that I could print it out.
Yep. It might freak out on you if you delete them all.
Yeah, there's always Control Z.
Yep. There is that.
Yep.
Yeah, you're breaking everything now. You can reassign the plane to something else. Just reassign the plane. That's all it is. Somewhere in there it'll say reassign plane or
Redefine?
Redefine or something, yeah. Nothing to define it to, huh?
Nope. I think, yeah, that sketch, I don't know where that sketch was made.
So you can redefine it to an orientation if you go up and you turn your orientations back on.
Okay. I honestly have no clue how to do that.
Go up to the left, your little hierarchical browser down there. See where it says orient or orientation? Well, right there. Turn that on. Just hit the little eyeball. Now realign it to that.
That's not the right button. Oh.
Yeah, you got to do it to all of them, but that's
Okay.
basically what you can do to start fixing them.
Cool.
Just make sure, you know, if you do the X1 or the Y1 or the Z1, you do them all to the X, Y, or Z, or else your model all of a sudden shoots off in 3 different directions.
Yep.
And then usually you can orient it to the part of the model at that point. And that fixes them all. And that makes Fusion run a lot faster. Because if it's all confused, it runs slower. Because it's confused and it doesn't know how to deal with it.
I like Fusion most of the time, but it can be a pain sometimes.
Yeah, you can fix it just like you did. If it's projected geometry, you just assign it to a plane. Unless you actually lose, there's some geometry you're losing. Most of the
No,
time,
I,
I just
I think it's fine now.
project to.
Oh, we're missing the top
It-
there.
But anyway, that's how you can do it if you ever need to. It does make it work better. What's up, Dan? I'm gonna probably kill it in a minute, anyways, because I gotta go to the bathroom and I got crap to do. And I was hoping my brother would be here already. I was hoping that somebody would know how to fix that because I like to print with it.
I know
Again,
nothing about Duet.
yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't hate it. Some things I like about it. It's just, you know, they say everything is in that little G code file, but the problem is there's a lot of hidden settings that you can't adjust because they don't want you to adjust them, like the thermal runaway that you can't adjust. You don't want to turn it off, but you should be able to adjust it. But on that note, it's been an hour and a half, and I think I'm going to cut it because I think I'm going to go outside, even though it's hot and humid.
Okay. See ya.
So I'm out, guys. See you.
All
Bye.
right.
Have fun. Tomorrow's another day. I'm sure Dan will be streaming again tonight. He's my night vision of me. I stream today. Dan streams at night. Nobody else is allowed to stream ever. Oh, tonight is Amy Double D on
Entertech.
Hot Makes. Yeah, she's on Hot Makes tonight with Pooch and Tim, whatever his name is, Jim. I always
Guess
get Jim
I'll
mixed up.
see everybody over in that stream then tonight.
Later, guys.
All right.